when I left Park House, I was quite scared. I was going back to the same area and the house that I used to use in. And as I said, it was quite scary. Before I left, I did write a plan as to what I was going to do for the following week, and I found that really helped me a lot, because I work better with structure. When I'm left to my own devices, that's when, in the beginning, a problem could arise for me. I'd go off and see someone just to say hello, and then I'd end up in a situation where it could lead me to using and that again. So I had a plan. I used that plan to the best I could and structured my day. I had a support network to go out to of people who weren't using and who were doing the same kind of things to stay clean, and I found that has helped me no end, because if I went back to the same places and the same people that I used with, I know that I'd use again. Another thing I had to do was I got rid of the phone that I had and the number, because I had dealers' numbers in there, and it would always be a back door for me if I was having a bad day or something. And you know what, that stood me in good stead, because I have had bad days where my head's gone and I felt like I wanted to use. I haven't, and that's the main thing for me. Whatever happens, just don't pick up and it'll be alright. But if I had the dealer's numbers in my phone, then maybe it wouldn't have turned out like that. So for me, getting a new phone, a new number, and only having people in there who weren't using was a really good thing for me to do. Things that I found, because I was living with my family and my son, I found the small things difficult, like getting my son ready for school and being responsible, really, going out and having those responsibilities. But I always had someone who I could talk to at the end of the phone. I was lucky and was offered daycare here, and so I used to come back and get help with stuff that I needed, get advice off people, and generally that kind of stuff. Life after Park House. I was very nervous when I was leaving. You know, I did sort somewhere out. Luckily for me, I did get into a really good supported house, where I have got support there through workers and stuff like that. You know, it's not all the time, but if I need it, it's there. And I made sure that I had a good support network around me, because that's really important. You know, if I'd have gone out there back to my own flat, or, you know, been on my own, I don't know, I can't say I'd have used, but it would have been a lot harder than it has been. You know, I'll try and keep my days quite busy and structured, so I know that I'm doing something. I'm not just sitting around the house, you know, just doing nothing, because then the boredom creeps in and your mind goes over time. You know, and it is a real big thing to have a support network around you. You know, so you've got people on the end of the phone if you're feeling, you know, like a bit down, or you think you're going to use. You know, you've got people there for you. You know, and my life has changed significantly. You know, I've been abroad, you know, for the first time in my life. Never thought I'd be doing that, you know, and just little things, like normal little things, like going to take my driving test, and, you know, things like that I should have done when I was young, not when I was, you know, 33. I know I'm not old, but, you know, and life has really changed. You know, I can be support for other people now, where, you know, I couldn't have done that before. You know, and I have got a big support network which I really rely on, you know, so I can support people, but I've still got people to support me. The only advice I could give to people for when they leave is try and have people as support. You know, try and keep busy, and don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, even at Park House, you know, they will be there for you if you need them, or, you know, any other support you can access, really, you know, because that is quite important. And try not to isolate yourself. you know, because it can be quite, you know, you get a bit down and it's quite easy to stay away from people, and, you know, but just really try and, you know, keep busy. So that is the main thing, because a lot of people, boredom is a trigger, you know, and if you're keeping busy, you know, and doing things, I mean, don't try and do too much at once, you know, because it can stress you out and, you know, where that could lead. But just do what you're comfortable with, you know, and just try and have people around you that are going to help you out, not hinder you, you know. Try not to be around your old friends too much, you know, because that can take you back, obviously, if they're still using, you know. So just try and have the right people around you and you should be okay.
I also want to do some voluntary work, and that'll be working in addiction, like making films for addiction, or working in a recovery cafe, doing voluntary work, helping addicts to achieve abstinence. I want to work in the drug field, basically, because I want to give back what was given to me. There's a good support network of people, and they're freely available whenever I want to phone them. I also want to spend time with my family, my son and my wife, and give back to them, really, because I've taken from them before in the past, and it's about giving now, it's not about taking. I think it's important to plan your days, because time in your own head can be dangerous, really, and you can think about using, and that's why I want to keep busy, really, and I want to keep busy so I don't have time to think about using. Also, I want to structure my days from the beginning, like have breakfast and then get cracking on with the next positive thing for my day. I don't want to have time, I just said that, I don't want to have time on my own to think too much, so I believe it's good to be busy.